Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by asking you this particular question here. And I just want you to be honest with me. You can answer me in the comment section down below. I will go through the comments. The question is, do you really support Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job? And do you really think that Raila Odinga will win the African Union Commission top job? Is it possible? Because one thing that I have come to realize, that I have personally come to understand after doing my critical research, is that the majority of Kenyans want Raila Odinga to lose the African Union Commission top job. This might sound so strange, but it is actually the reality in the ground. And as a matter of fact, the majority of Kenyans are actually endorsing the Djibouti candidate. Majority of Kenyans want Mohamud Yusuf Ali of Djibouti to win the African Union Commission top job. So things are getting worse in AU for Raila Odinga. Mambo imechemka. Raila Amolo Odinga, and I want you to follow very keenly, officially launched his African Union Commission top job in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, just the other day. But after that, there's something that happened to Raila Odinga and his team. Something very terrible, very shameful, that made Raila Odinga campaigns to be stopped immediately. So let me explain to you the shocking details in this particular video here. First of all, I want you to remember that the African Union Commission's elections will officially take place, will officially be conducted in February 2025. About 3 months from now. What does that mean? It means that it is actually the time for Raila Odinga and his team. Raila Odinga's team that consists of seasoned diplomats. Raila Odinga's team that consists of experts and strategists who have been doing very good job for Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Currently, as we speak, Raila Odinga is the one leading. So that if the African Union Commission elections were to be conducted on this day, Raila Odinga would simply emerge as the winner. Because of these people, the team that are working with Raila Odinga. So after Raila Odinga officially launched his African Union Commission top job in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, it means that Raila Odinga and his team have to conduct thorough campaigns for Raila Odinga. Because Raila Odinga, despite the fact that he is leading, Raila is also facing a very stiff competition from Mohamud Yusuf Ali of Djibouti. So this is what happened exactly 4 days after Raila Odinga officially launched his African Union Commission top job. Let me give you all this information. But before we begin, just a quick reminder. If you are listening to me and you haven't subscribed, I want you only to take 1 second or 2 and hit the subscribe button down below for you to be able to receive more information, daily political updates from this channel. You can also give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend this video in particular and this channel to reach out to more people. Thank you so much for your support. Now let us proceed because I just want to be very brief in this particular video here. So follow it to the end. Now, first of all, the internal conflicts among Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat for the African Union Commission top job. This is very, very dangerous. When I talk about Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat, who exactly are these people? First of all, we have Professor Makau Mutua. Professor Makau Mutua is one of the loyal leaders in Raila Odinga's camp. Then we have, of course, the PS, Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs, by the name Korir Singoe, who has also been playing a critical role in Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job. So these two leaders here, Korir Singoe and Professor Makau Mutua, are fighting. What exactly are these leaders fighting for? Let me read for you this article here from The Nation. It says that, let me just show you. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's campaign for the chairmanship of African Union Commission is facing the internal conflicts with factions within his campaign secretariat vying for influence. So that is the first reason they are fighting, vying for influence. What does this article mean when it talks about vying for influence? It means that these two leaders here are competing. Professor Makau Mutua and Korir Singoe are competing. Who exactly is more superior than the other? That is causing the conflicts. Secondly, control of resources. Between Professor Makau Mutua and PS Korir Singoe, who exactly should control the resources for Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job? You know, these are the things that are currently affecting Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job directly. So these conflicts here, trust me, can make Raila Odinga to lose if these issues will not be sorted out as early as now. So Raila Odinga should have a meeting with President William Ruto and Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat, PS Korir Singoe and Professor Makau Mutua, and sort out these issues urgently. The second thing, it is because of the financial constraints in President William Ruto's government. Now, let me talk about the Adani deal and Ketraco. You have seen today, President William Ruto has officially cancelled the Adani deal and Ketraco, right? After public outcry, after public demand, right? But what they are not telling you is that the money in this deal was partly used to campaign for Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job. The truth of the matter here is that the government does not have money. It is very expensive to campaign for Raila Odinga's, to finance Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job. If you can still remember in Uhuru Kenyatta's time, when Uhuru was campaigning for CS Amina Mohamed, former CS, for that particular position, according to the details, Uhuru Kenyatta used a total of 437 million. Right? So when I talk about financial constraints in William Ruto's government, I basically mean that the government of President William Ruto, Kenya Kwanza Alliance government, has to borrow first in order to finance Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job. There's no money at all. And that is why the taxes are rising. The economy is still affecting majority of Kenyans. Majority of Kenyans are still crying. You know, those are the kind of things that they are not telling you. That is why when I saw today that demonstrations were to happen because William Ruto is not listening. William Ruto and the government is listening very well. But there's nothing they can do. they have to finance Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job using, the taxes of the people, from the people, And number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we have something called cash crunch in Raila Odinga's African Union Commission top job. Meaning Raila Odinga does not have money to pay his staff. Basically here, Raila Odinga will have to reduce some of his diplomats, some of his campaign strategists. Let me read for you the statement from The Nation, what it says. It says that the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga's campaigns for the chairman of the African Union Commission top job has been hit by a major cash crunch, raising concerns about the government's budget for the mission. There's no money to pay the staff. There's no money to pay Raila Odinga's, these people who are working for Raila Odinga to succeed in the African Union Commission. Basically, the team that supports Raila Odinga in the African Union Commission top job, there's no money completely to fund them. These issues, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a big win to the Djibouti candidate. I want us to wait and see how things will turn out to be. But basically here, majority of Raila Odinga's diplomats in the African Union Commission top job are not happy. Raila Odinga's campaign strategists are not happy. Majority of them are still considering their future in that team. They might as well resign. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more political updates. Ladies and gentlemen, let me see you again in my next video analysis. Remember, my name is Jason. Bye-bye and have a good night. Thank you.